Very happy.
What about the war scene?
Oh no.
That's next.
Something else? Lunch first.
Then
Lunch and then the war scene.
Then we do the war scene.
we'll look for the war scene then.
It can't be that far away.
Need another episode, I think.
Inshallah.
Need another episode just for the war scene.
We'll look forward to it.
Okay.
Wow.
Soft sand.
Yay! Woo! We like soft sand. Soft sand. Don't stop.
And our new guest, Rabia,
Thank you, thank you.
our guide.
Welcome. مرحب مرحب بك يا مرحب.
Lucy,
Soft sand.
Herman, Trisha, Lydia, Annette, Sammy, Ron, me, Joseph.
Yes.
So Joseph, we're hoping to find this war scene, huh?
Yeah,
Especially after the one we got shown.
yeah.
Kind of
Hopefully we'll find it this
similar
time.
experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be cool if you find it. So this one you have GPS coordinates too?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, and it should be a bit easier because it's not as, the mountains are not as high, so the GPS signal is a bit better. So hopefully it's the right one. And yeah, it looks like it could be around here.
Could be. Yeah, that kind of
Cliff face is what we're looking for.
And you can see the drivers when you're
Looking intently to the left. Okay, it must be around here.
This reading here.
Where?
This one here. Oh.
Something here?
Oh look!
Yeah, yeah.
There is some right
There's
there.
definitely some stuff here.
Yeah,
Ooh.
This one, oh.
yeah.
And this second there.
But there is a bigger one. I mean, this is just.
Yeah, this is
I think it's
So it must be very close to it, no?
just the
Yeah, you can see in the
collection
mountain
of
there.
camels
There's stuff.
little bits and pieces
Oh.
all over. Oh yeah, there's some good
This
ones there.
second, see?
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's a really good one.
This
Ooh,
one.
I might want to take a picture of that because there's writing
Well,
with
I
it.
think that's the one.
Can we?
I think this is the one.
You think we should?
This is the one.
Yeah, we found it.
So this is the war scene to give you a sense of scale. And that's just up the hill a little bit. That kind of gives you,
That's awesome, huh?
looks like it's just alive.
Yeah, this wadi has so many inscriptions. It's just unbelievable and so detailed. Like all the camels and the reins of the camels and the people sitting on them. It's such detailed inscriptions.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, beautiful.
So can you give us like an idea of what's it called and what's the dating that we know of?
So yeah, I mean it's called the Nabataean war scene, and so Nabataeans were here around about 2,000 years ago. So around the same time as the Romans and around the same time as the birth of Christ, basically that era. And yeah, they know that because there's Nabataean script near to it and kind of has the same color as these inscriptions, which tells you a bit about the age. The darker, the older in general. So if you see things next to each other in roughly the same color, then you can see, okay, that's from the same time period. So yeah, that's what we're seeing here, Nabataean war scene. And this whole valley, Wadi El Zarnik, is just full of inscriptions. Absolutely stunning.
You said the darker it is, the older it is, right?
Yeah,
You mean the bigger contrast, right?
The
Smaller contrast.
less contrast, the older.
Okay.
Because yeah, you start off with a lot of contrast when you scrape it,
Yeah.
and then it kind of like it fades basically. I mean, it all depends on the background. So like if the background's really dark, then yeah, So yeah, this one's strange, huh? This looks like somebody's hunting with a modern gun, with a machine gun almost. Bullets coming out. And then here we have something that I call the strip, because it's all like done in one line. All these warriors and animals and coming from both sides.
Yeah, that looks nice. That's strange, yeah. And what about this?
This is really weird. I mean, this has the Nabataean writing, so that's how we date it. And then you've got these two figures lying down, feet touching and their hands spread out, which makes it look like some kind of magic is going
That's
on.
the Nabataean writing, yeah?
Yeah. There's a sword. And I
Oh.
can see some camels and horses. But it's
Why the
old.
color are different?
So the darker ones are older. So let's say you start carving, you would carve through all this dark stuff and it's quite light in the beginning. But then the sun hits it and the wind and it starts to get darker and darker. So this is darker already. This one's almost gone. Like it's almost the same color now as the background. So that is older and that is newer.
Cool.
And so
So we have here some old stuff here.
yeah, this is like almost the same color as the background, so it's really hard to see.
That's old stuff.
Yeah. And what you see here, also old. And what we can really date
Oh,
very-
that's a Nabataean.
yeah, you can date that very precisely.
Nabataean writing. How can you date it?
Well, that's the Nabataeans were here from about 100 before Christ until about 300, 400 after Christ. So, I mean, that's how long they used the Nabataean language in the Sinai.
Hmm.
So it's within that time period. So roughly 2,000 years ago.
You can tell the difference between the camels under and the writing
Yeah.
in the top.
So much lighter. This one a lot darker. So it really gives you an idea. Yeah. That's really cool.
And here there is camel with someone on it fighting with his sword.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Very squarish.
No. That's the
This-
one I was talking about.
Well, look at this one, how detailed. Huh?
Yeah.
These are
And the one in the top of him with
Yeah.
like what?
also
he
with
has.
like a sword or a spear, some kind of weapon.
Yeah.
And he's also, like you can see, he's holding something behind. Maybe a whip for the camel
Yeah.
to speed it along, or maybe like a sword to fight with, or a whip.
Cool. Cool stuff. Guys, are you happy about the war scene?
Yay! Very, very good.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah, really cool.
And it's not like a war scene, it goes on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's a war timeline.
Yeah, it's like a timeline, exactly.
Kind of.
So now we go into the old Nabataean village.
Yeah.
Cool.
Something new for a day,
غيدة
يمكن ادوق.
دوق.
انا ادوق الورق بس الاول.
احسن حاجة تدوق الورق انت وتشوف الدنيا ايه.
Can you? I'm gonna have it there. You filming me eating?
Yes,
You gonna try?
of course.
لذيذ ها؟
It's like Maya.
هذه جرب منها.
ده في السنة مرة ممكن ايه يعني ما تلاقوش
غير
يخليه.
المطر فين هودي؟
ده بتلاقيه في المطر.
فين هودي؟
So what do you know about this Senate? Or what we know about this place?
Very little, except that it's called the Nabataean village. And if that's true, that would really be the only Nabataean village that we know of here in the Sinai. I mean, the only Nabataean structures really that we know are the port and some remains of temples in Wadi Faran, which is very close. So, yeah, I mean, it would make sense for them to be here in the area. And it would make sense for them to have settlements, but this is really all we know. I don't know of any research. I would love to find out if somebody has really researched this and knows a little bit more about it.
You think
days,
how
yeah.
old?
Well, I honestly don't know. Like, this is a wild guess, you know. It could be Bronze Age, could be 4,000, 3,000, 2,000, 1,000 years, you name it.
So, is it Nabataean?
I don't know. There's nothing else like it that's Nabataean, so there's no way to compare it to something else.
Looks different.
There's also no writing, and there's a lot of Nabataean inscriptions all over the Sinai. Like in every corner you find Nabataean inscriptions. But as far as I know, nothing really, or nothing on these houses or in these houses, and nothing right nearby.
The Nabataeans probably moved here because of all the tourism for the
Yeah.
armies.
Exactly. Yeah. They were just tired of it, you know. Buses and buses.
Camels and camels.
Come on.
Take a look in here. This doesn't look like a mortar at all.
Yeah.
But this could mean that the surface was covered in mud at some point.
You don't think that's there to hold the
I don't
rocks
think it's
together?
mortar.
They are double walled again, huh? Most of the houses. Yeah.
It's not a mortar looking.
That's very interesting.
Because it's very much sort of put
Yeah.
together with little
Exactly.
stones in between the
And
big
they,
stones.
I mean,
I can imagine the shakes outside, and you see those holes. They were support holes for something, so they were
Yeah.
shapes outside. And
they could have.
wooden structures.
Yeah, they could have put a little cover around it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking. There's another big one right there. Look at that one. That's quite high.
Maybe they made some sort of rope and pulley system.
That's what's most amazing, almost the height of these buildings, like compared to anything else I've seen. The height of them.
That's what it reminds me of the Southwest. This looks a lot more like, if you see Montezuma's castle, it's built into the side of a mountain, but it looks a lot more similar to this.
Do you see
Do you see?
the
I see.
the column, the palm?
Huh?
That's what they use to support it.
Yeah. So, I mean,
And
I
here
would say
also.
definitely 2 floors.
This is palm tree, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Palm tree trunk, say.
This is windows. You see, they have like supported for it with. That's windows.
That's for ventilation.
Yeah, you know what I've heard in guns, germs and steel. Remember, they said they have wooden floors to store the grain.
Right. Yeah, they put, it's like a crawl space. It's an attic, basically. And they put the grain up there and live in the basement.
So that it wouldn't, if you leave it on the floor, it
Right.
gets moist and it
And
starts.
animals and whatever, you can protect it on the second floor. So it's kind of like their attic.
Another piece of wood hanging there.
Do you see it?
Yeah. For what this one?
Well, this is a smaller support beam.
To hang the meat and
Yeah,
cook it.
dry everything and cure it. I mean, let's see. If they have ventilation here and here and shelves, if this is the kitchen, the fire's going to go somewhere here.
It'll be the center.
So you need some support beam to hang things from and keep it out of the way of.
That's the kitchen shelves.
Yeah, looks like it. Well, that definitely looks like shelves to me. There's a huge rock at the back of it.
And here also the shelves on the side. So you were saying something about the door.
I was just asking about seismic activity because we looked at the vents and the volcanic area and basically some of the buildings that I've seen constructed in a very similar way. If there's a lot of seismic activity, they tend to make the openings slanted. Anyway, it's really small. This is not their height. It's to make it more stable. Obviously, the larger door you have, the more unstable your building is. So you want to keep your doors small.
Yeah, yeah.
It's also, you come in your house and it's a smaller area to cover. Keeps you warmer, keeps you cooler. So you want to make your door small. I always thought it was for little people, but it's not.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that episode.
Yeah, that was nice. And what we're gonna do next?
Well, next we're going to look at the Navamis. I think we've mentioned them already.
Yeah, but That's need another episode by itself, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, that's an old burial place, so it'll be really interesting.
See you soon.